I'm Louise, an artist and curator originally from Ōtepoti Dunedin in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm now based in Margate in Kent on the southeast coast of England. I hold a BA in Fine Art from Middlesex University and an MA in Art and Science from Central St Martin's, both based in London. I completed my Masters in 2013. Today, I'll give an overview of my practice and discuss several projects related to dark skies and how my experiences of dark skies in Aotearoa have shaped my understanding of our place within Earth's ecosystem and the cosmos. My artistic practice revolves around three main strands: Earth, astronomy and light. Earth represents our deep time understanding of our planet's past and future. Astronomy involves the scientific pursuit to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Finally, light symbolises how we've historically understood Earth and space. I see my life as divided into two distinct parts. The first under the dark skies of Aotearoa, where I could see the Earth as a planetary landscape, and the second under the light-polluted skies of towns and cities in England, where that cosmic connection feels much harder to grasp. These contrasting experiences highlight my interest in how light pollution may alter our fundamental understanding of being part of Earth's ecosystem and the cosmos.
Can you read that?
The title of my talk, The Transparency of Night, comes from a chapter I contributed to a book called Dark Skies, Places, Practices, Communities, which was published about a year ago. This book offers a collection of cultural perspectives of dark skies. My chapter, which is free to read online, explores how the dark skies of Aotearoa have influenced my artistic and curatorial practice. Through 5 projects, I examine how living under dark skies versus light-polluted skies can alter our perceptions of grief, the climate crisis, and our understanding of deep time. Each project reflects my evolving relationship with life, death, darkness, and light. One project I'd like to share is called Gathering Light. It's a 36-minute audiovisual installation which was displayed in the crypt of Derby Cathedral and commissioned by the Cathedral and Format Photography Festival in 2023. In this work, I reflect on my father's passing through 40 photographs taken over 40 days, capturing the sky around sunrise, sunset, and incorporating photographs of the moon. The installation explores my grief and how being close to relative dark skies, as opposed to London where I lived previously, and the coastline of Margate where I live, helps me to frame my father's passing within a vast cosmic cycle. The rhythm of Earth's daily light and dark cycles are enmeshed in the piece. The piece explores how having a consciousness of these earthly and astronomical systems can offer a sense of stability amid turbulence. Another project called Memory of Darkness was created during my Delphina Foundation and Gaia Art Foundation UK Associateship in 2020. The elements of the sound piece were recorded during a different residency at Te Matatiki Toi Ora in Christchurch. This sound piece captures the feelings of ecological grief and wonderment I experienced whilst gazing at the stunning dark skies of Hiniwai Reserve in the Banks Peninsula in the South Island. I recorded calls of local birds throughout the day before experiencing one of the most beautiful skies I have ever seen as the night fell, allowing the stars and planets to shine through the darkness. This profound experience offered me a new way to understand the significance of the climate crisis through a cosmic perspective. You can listen to this sound piece on my website and read more about how I live broadcasted it for people worldwide during COVID. After the event, many of the audience members shared their own experiences of how light pollution has changed their relationship with the night sky across their lifetimes, so reflecting on what the skies were like when they were younger and compared to today. My most recent project, Earth, a Cosmic Spectacle, was funded by a British Council Connections Through Culture grant and developed in collaboration with Dr. Ian Griffin, an astronomer and director of Te Hura Otago Museum. I spent July and August in Aotearoa, Dunedin, developing the project with the museum and with Otago University. During my time in Dunedin, I engaged in discussions with scientists from the museum and the university to create this exhibition. These conversations centred on the immense timeframes required for life to develop on Earth. The scientists I worked with all had one thing in common: the working knowledge of the time and series of events which were required across the history of the universe in order to create the life that we have today. The scientists that I worked with were astronomers, geologists, biologists, and a couple of other people who had this relationship to time. I spoke with each scientist about their views on the climate crisis and invited them to respond to a question lost under the dark skies of Dunedin on a piece of A5 card. The question was, how does your knowledge of the 13.8 billion year concatenation of astronomical and Earth-based events shape your understanding of the climate crisis? This allowed them to share their feelings anonymously, separate from their research. Their responses were enlightening and deeply moving. I was very lucky to have someone involved with this conference participate too. You can read all of the responses on my website, and they were also displayed within the exhibition. We also engaged high school students, asking them to reflect on seeing Earth from a great distance, whilst under the dark skies. I provided them with the same card to write or draw their feelings in response to prompts like, look into the dark skies above you, listen to the environment and close your eyes. Imagine Earth from afar. How would you describe it? The responses captured the wonder of our planet and its ecosystems. The exhibition included a body of photography which I developed during my residencies in Aotearoa, New Zealand, the UK, and recently on a Launchpad Lab residency in France. These works aim to juxtapose different temporalities: the long and slow development of life on Earth alongside the rapid changes of the climate crisis and the momentary nature of a lifetime. One of my favourite images incorporates a photograph of a meteorite found on the South Island taken by geologist Dr. Marshall Palmer, which you can see on the last slide of my presentation. This is a cumulative project, and I plan to work with universities and schools worldwide to gather thoughts and images in response to our changing world to create a type of time capsule of knowledge. What can dark skies teach us about the cosmic significance of life on Earth? Throughout history, humans have relied on the movements of stars and planets for farming, navigation, and cultural understandings of our place within the universe. How different would we be if our eyes didn't develop in a way that meant that we could see starlight? If Earth wasn't set in a cosmic background, how differently would you think about the birds and other life that has developed alongside us and our long line of ancestors throughout Earth's history? If we think about each creature as a successful result of 3.7 billion years of evolutionary history, and only made possible by the concatenation of events across the universe's entire 13.8 billion year history, doesn't that make each of us and each form of life incredibly precious? As Carl Sagan said, our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity and all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. Thank you so much for listening.
So we've got Louise online, and there she is. Any questions for her? Perhaps if you've got a question, come up to the front. Hi, Louise.
Hey.
Anyone want
Thank
to?
you so much for listening.
I think we've got a question. Please.
I'm speaking to this one.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Louise. How did you find working with children for your artwork in Starlight?
Oh, great question. Thank you so much. It was a really interesting experience because I've worked with many young people through different types of projects where we have looked at the climate crisis together. But after an in-depth conversation with one of the scientists that was involved with the project in Dunedin, I understood that I had to be very cautious in how I approached working with young people based in Aotearoa, because many young people have had direct experiences of climate-based events and also have connections to family members who've had experience of climate-based events. So this was a really wonderful opportunity to ask the young people to reflect on the sort of miraculous nature of life on Earth from a cosmic perspective rather than thinking directly about climate change. And all of the young people offered such in-depth and honest responses with such great enthusiasm that if I had had the time, I could have worked with hundreds of more young people, which is what I hope to do in lots of places around the world. But I also think it's a really interesting point that all of these really philosophical responses that I had from the young people come from people who are growing up under the dark skies of Aotearoa. And I'm really interested to see how those responses would be different in places with much more light pollution, such as the UK where I am now, or perhaps countries like Singapore as well.
Time for one more question. Actually, we don't have time, but one more question anyway. Speak into the microphone.
Okay. Hello. First of all, thank you a lot for the presentation. It was really inspiring. What I am thinking about is the reaction of Indigenous people to your artwork different from other people? I could say, it's because maybe the connection to the natural world or to stars and the sky is different.
So, in terms of my exhibition, I'm not sure if I haven't had any sort of written responses from different groups of people, but I would say that what I am trying to do with this project, which is hopefully a career-long, career-spanning project that I'm doing, is I'm trying to gather responses from all sorts of different cultural backgrounds and ways of thinking about the night sky. So what I'm trying to do is to create a time capsule of knowledge that records multiple different ways of looking and understanding the night sky. That's not just through the traditional, or also through Western science as well. So that's something I'm hoping to expand on in the future whilst I worked with different cultures around the world, and what I'd really like to explore further in Aotearoa as well.
Thank you so much, Louise. It's getting quite late here, and I know it's very early for you. So we are going to say goodbye, but thank you so much for your talk. Would everyone like to